Wisconsin football fans from Tacoma Golf Course, I'm Jesse Nelson. I have been incredibly fortunate to share the ESPN Wisconsin airwaves with you over the last 10 years, talking Wisconsin Badgers football, pre-game predictions from the greatest tailgate party of all time, post-game reactions, win or lose, and discussions of the state of the team and the sport as a whole on a day-to-day basis with a bunch of former Badgers. Nothing compares to the amazing privilege and responsibility I've been trusted with this season, which is hosting this show, the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison. This legendary icon of Wisconsin athletics joined our ESPN Wisconsin team last year, and to no one's surprise, he immediately made his mark. He cheers on the program he helped build to national prominence. He fairly critiques when he thinks a player philosophy should be questioned, and he offers insights and observations of college football and college athletics unlike anyone else on this planet. I've only been nervous calling someone on the phone 3 times in my life. The first girl I asked to the homecoming dance in high school, the first time I called Brett Favre to join Wilde and Tausch, and the first time that I called Barry Alvarez. We're 90 seconds away from hosting the debut of the show together, and I still haven't decided whether I'm going to call him Barry, Coach, Sir, or something else. They named the field after him. It's been amazing over 10 years with ESPN Wisconsin to see this particular show grow from In the Trenches to Monday and Thursday Night Drive to the Great Dane Huddle and our show here today. Somehow it's remained the most off-the-rails show and become our most newsworthy show as well. It's my goal to provide you, our fans, with the best possible insights this season from a panel of Rose Bowl champions, NFL alumni, and Wisconsin Athletics Hall of Famers. I'm thrilled. I'm kind of nervous. I'm not going to flinch, though. And I'm ready to unofficially kick off football season on ESPN Wisconsin. Welcome to Season 2 of the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison.
They better get season tickets right now because before long, they probably won't be able to.
It's all about the Badgers.
Don't flinch. The greatest coach in Wisconsin history is on the air.
It's over. The Wisconsin Badgers win 17-9. They are the first Big Ten team ever to win successive Rose Bowl games.
This is the Barry Alvarez Show.
Touchdown, Wisconsin.
On 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
What are your emotions right now? Just like the old days.
Alongside Rose Bowl champions Derek Engler and Tarek Saleh, here's Jesse Nelson.
Season 2, away we go on the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison. Good afternoon, everybody, from Tacoma Golf Course. My name is Jesse Nelson, alongside the Rose Bowl champion, the NFL alumni, Derek Engler. Long time no talk. Derek, how have you been?
Fantastic. Great to be here. Just flew in from Ontario, did a fly-in fishing trip with my son and some friends. Thursday to Sunday. It was a great trip. It's kind of one of those bucket list things. So I'm ready to go, though. Now it's football. I'm ready to go, Coach. I know you were at practice, I think, over the weekend.
I was. It's fun. I'm just like you, Derek. It's football season, and we look forward to it so much. And just to go get your first fix of sitting there and watching a practice is just fun for me.
Coach Barry Alvarez is here with us as well as we're at Tacoma Golf Course for the Gilda's Club Red Doors golf outing. The rain is starting to fall here at Tacoma, so we have moved indoors for the time being, which means we have a great crowd on hand for our season premiere of the Barry Alvarez Show here on ESPN Madison.
Tickets were hard to get for this.
That's what I heard, and yeah, here we are, standing room only, especially by the bar, I've noticed. Lots to talk about as we kick off the college football season here. And, Coach, I'll start with where you just led us. You were at practice this weekend. You got to take in what this team looked like out on the practice field as we're 10 days away from kickoff under the lights at Camp Randall Stadium against Miami, Ohio. Before we talk about this team specifically, before we talk about what this season has in store, what I wanted to ask you first before anything is from the end of last season to the start of this year where we are right now, there have been a lot of changes. There's a new coordinator. There's a new quarterback. What do you feel looking at this program right now?
Well, I think we have the right person in charge. You know, I think Luke understands the Big Ten. He knows how to win. I think he has his feet on the ground. Wisconsin's a difficult place. I mean, you have to understand this place as far as where to recruit, where, you know, with the type of players that fit here, the type of football that can win here. I really think that he is grounded. He's the right guy to be here. So I really feel good about that. I like the players in the program. I like the attitude. So, I'm really anxious I'm always anxious to get the season started, but really anxious to watch this team play.
So I like the word choice there, anxious, Derek, because I think that's what a lot of fans are feeling. There's a nervous excitement. There's the morale has been better in the past, but that doesn't mean that this season can't be successful, depending on what metric you want to measure it by. What emotion are you feeling about the Wisconsin Badgers football team here today?
How you become anxious starts at the end of January when you come back for classes and you get into the off season. Winter strength and conditioning program. You go through spring ball, and then you go through summer strength and conditioning. And that whole time, that's the work, that's the grind. That's when you really start to create some pretty tight bonds with your teammates. And it's that work. It's all that effort that you put in, hard work. That finally, we're getting it. It's what, 10 days?
10 days from
Thursday
today
night?
is when we have kickoff of the season. Yep.
So that's it's here. And, I think to Coach's point, Coach Fickell is the intensity, the focus, the commitment level is there. He is dialed in. For him, there is only one thing to do, and that's to win. And I truly believe in that, and I back him 100%. I think in this landscape, he's had to do some things and navigate the ever-changing, world around him with the transfer portal and everything else. But I think from what I've heard, we got some defensive linemen that can hunt the quarterback, which is huge. I think, it always comes down to, how your quarterback is, and we've went through a couple injuries the last couple seasons through the transfer portal, and we'll see. I've heard he's consistent. And we'll see what happens. But I think it all starts up front, as always. Yeah. We start moving people. We get back to who we are and what we do and run the football. We'll be fine.
It's the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison. So, programming note, we're not normally on at noon on a Monday. This is kind of rare territory for us. But thanks to, again, Nakoma Golf Club and the Gilda's Club, Red Doors Golf Outing for hosting us here today. This is our season premiere. We are going to go until about 2 o'clock here this afternoon. But you might be thinking, well, there's a Brewers game coming up. That's right. At 12:45 on 100.5 ESPN, we will carry the Brewers pregame show, weather permitting, at Wrigley Field. I don't know if the weather like we're seeing here at Nakoma is going to impact them.
How are you containing yourself? I know you were
my gosh, I am so excited for the 5-game set with the Cubs. I cannot wait. Craig Counsell denying that he ever knew what George Webb's was over the weekend. Just fuel that rivalry even more for me this weekend. I love it. So 5-game series starts with a doubleheader today, pregame at 12:45. So that'll start on the radio. Our show is going to continue digital only on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So join us over on the YouTube channel to follow along with the show here throughout the course of the afternoon. And then next week we'll regularly get back to our usual slot, 6 o'clock on Mondays is when we'll be on through the majority of this season here on ESPN Madison. Jesse Nelson, Derek Engler, and of course the legendary head coach and Wisconsin athletic director Barry Alvarez joining us here on the Barry Alvarez Show. So you covered a lot of ground there, Derek. We're going to talk plenty about Billy Edwards. We're going to talk more about what this team might look like for the coming season. We've got 2 shows before they actually get on the field for the first time to get into that. One thing that stood out to me, Coach, I want to go to you on this. There's a phrase that has stood out every time I've heard Coach Fickell talk, any of the coordinators, even some of the players, and many of the media members around the program. This is the year to get back on track for Wisconsin football. After missing a bowl game last year, not being eligible for postseason play, and just kind of being in a funk near the back half of last season. What does back on track mean to you?
Just what you said. You go 20 years with winning seasons, bowl games, and all of a sudden you're off track. You're not going to we have fans that plan their year with a vacation over the holidays to go to a bowl game. I've had a number of fans this offseason mention that to me. So that's one thing to think of fans. But that's your program, and that's built into your program. That's built into your recruiting. When you talk to high school players, you talk to them about win football games every year. And so when this get a little glitch up in the road like this, you have to get back on track. You want to get back.
Derek?
Yeah, there's when you become accustomed to just the consistent success, bowl games and bowl victories for that matter, and what Coach Alvarez did here at the University of Wisconsin, and then obviously followed by Coach Bielema and Coach Chris. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We were beating Miami down in Orange Bowl. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. So it's there. And Coach Fickell knows that, and he knows what he has to do to turn the ship around. And there really is that runway is getting short. I mean, it is. So let's just be honest. That is the livelihood of college football coaches today, and always really kind of has been, but more so today than ever. Win now, and more challenging than ever. With a third of the team flipping over. That's really tough with the young kids. To develop a team concept, and he's got to do it. He knows that. His staff knows that, and they have one mission. They're dialed in, and I'm really excited to see because what do we got? 5 top 12, something like that, and 3 on the road. That's really. I mean, when you do that, you have to be ready, and I would think, and Coach, you correct me if I'm wrong, but if we saw a schedule like this, we'd be so fired up to go on the road to Oregon. I mean, are you kidding me? To go on the road to the Big House, we beat their ass in '94, whatever it was, and whether it's going out to Penn State and ending their longest winning streak in college football, those are the games. That's what
is going on with you can train that way, and I've heard you coming out and saying that because how many people have you heard said, "Oh my, look at this schedule!
It's nonstop."
This schedule is brutal. They talk about how hard the schedule. We lick our chops on those. I mean, you're playing an Ohio State or you're playing a highly ranked team on your schedule. That's what we look forward to. I mean, you want to be a good team. You want to play the best. You want to beat the best. So I'm really excited about this schedule. And I'm sure Luke is, and I'm sure the players are.
Alabama on the road in Tuscaloosa week 3. You mentioned Derek at Oregon. Ohio State comes to Camp Randall. I'm going to throw at Indiana in the mix because they were a college football playoff team last year. There have been some comparisons for where the programs are now. Like, that's a big game. Bielema and Illinois come back to Camp Randall, the penultimate game of the season. A ton of big games for Wisconsin to be measured by this season, Coach.
We have to flip things. Indiana and Illinois flip things.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were talking about Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin. Now all of a sudden Indiana wins the league and goes and represents us. And Brett's team is picked at the top of the league.
Number 12 in the AP preseason poll.
Those are teams that were in the basement, and now they're at the top. So and where we were, and that's what we have to do. We have to flip it. We have to get back in that category.
And I don't think we're as far as people think. You got to remember, if we have some depth, especially in the defensive front against Oregon and Penn State last year, we're right there. We're right there. We wore down, and typically, that's Wisconsin style is wear the opponents down. Come the fourth quarter up front in the trenches, and that's what their mission is. And I know Coach Grimes, the offensive coordinator, I know his philosophy, his style of ball, and that is we're going to punch you in the face and we're going to get after you and we're going to wear you down in the fourth quarter.
We're going to talk more about that coming up because I do want to hear your thoughts on what the new style of offense means, not only for what it'll look like in the regular season, but how it's impacting the team at practice right now. We're going to talk about that coming up as we continue the countdown 10 days away from kickoff of the 2025 college football season at Camp Randall Stadium, the season premiere of the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison. Don't go anywhere.
Don't touch that cocktail.
I'd love to coach a game like that.
Oh,
they
man.
may not see a pass in the second half. I'd run that clock. That game would be over. We'd be home having cocktails at 3:30.
Coach will be back after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until September 2nd. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
My name is Rob, and I was seriously injured. When I think of Gruber Law Offices, I think of an honest, hardworking team who will fight to represent you. Couldn't be happier with the call that I made that day.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Kick off the college football season with ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day live at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Join our game day crew and experience Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, and a rock shop. The ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day preseason kickoff, Saturday, August 23rd from 10 a.m. to noon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. Cheers! With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Chicago Cubs.
Fly ball left field, back, and gone again for Yelly.
Today on 100.5 ESPN.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man? I see the girls in the club, they getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style from me. And if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. These young boys don't know what a Don mean. I'm just a bad boy, gone clean. I'm the diamond chain choker, always remain sober. Don't drink liquor and all the game's over. Need a plane? I explained it to my broker. 3 bots in the hood, top down, and ain't over. You know there's more, man, where that come from? Me and Kuda Love rolling back to back in one. See the name things have all changed since I've been around.
Welcome back to Season 2's premiere of the Barry Alvarez Show with Tarek Saleh and Derek Engler on ESPN Madison. My name's Jesse Nelson. By the way, no Tarek Saleh today, except for that one segment. He's going to call us from his hometown back out east.
Yeah, he's out east.
So we couldn't have the premiere of the show without Tarek joining us. We couldn't
he finishes cake out in Connecticut. That's the biggest
happen.
cake eater ever. He'll call in and give us his great wisdom and insight.
I can't wait to find out what it is this time around.
Yeah.
It is the Barry Alvarez Show, but it's going to be the Cindy Alvarez Show for the next few minutes. Okay. Cindy Alvarez is welcome to join us here as we are live at Nakoma Golf Course here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Why are we at Nakoma Golf Course? Because it's the Gilda's Club Red Doors golf event today, Cindy. And for everyone who isn't familiar with Gilda's Club, let's first start by talking about what Gilda's Club means to you and to Coach Alvarez and how this all came to be.
Wow, thank you. It was 20 years ago. I was approached for a group that knew about Gilda's clubs. They are located throughout the United States. And they wanted to bring one to Madison, and they asked Barry and I if we would spearhead the movement. And little by little, I developed the passion and saw the need, and we really jumped in with both feet. It took us about 3 years. We raised, I wanted the building paid for. I wanted 3 years operating expenses in the bank. I wanted no debt, and we opened 17 years ago.
17 years ago, Gilda's Club opened, and it was all thanks to you and Coach really founding all of this.
There were a lot of people that really helped us. They stepped forward, a lot of Madison businesses, a lot of individuals. But anyway, we had naming opportunities. The Livacies, I was with them one day, and I said, I need land. He said, what do you need? I said, I need enough land to build this place. He gave it to me.
Wow.
So we were able to be out there. It was amazing, the different people that, that gave us stuff.
Yeah, that's
Sub-Zero, a lot of building supplies and different things like that.
And that facility, obviously ESPN, we've done a lot of, for Gilda's Backyard Barbecue, done a lot of shows out there, and, great, always a beautiful evening, and just being out there, though, and seeing how comfortable, just the families that go there, and it truly feels like a home, and they've all said that. They've spoken, at these events, and I know Cindy, several years ago, I remember you got Lou Holtz, you and Coach got Lou to come at the Edgewater and speak at an event, and we raised a bunch of money because Lou's great, of course, at what he does, and just really remarkable what you and Barry did as far as starting it here and what it is today.
What people first thought that Gilda's was a place you spend the night. And it is not. Gilda's is a community that offers support and education and social for anybody living with cancer. So you could have cancer, your husband could, your neighbor could, your child could. And they have found that all the connected parts need support. So they have different kind of lectures, they have food classes, they have insurance classes, we have a robust children's program, and every Tuesday night they have a free family dinner that the members come with their families, and they have their support systems, and the kids go to theirs, the parents go to us, and I used a magic word, free. Every single thing that is offered at Gilda's is free. Nothing costs.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
That's wonderful. I know we got a little bit of a weather event here, so everybody's in the country club, and I don't know if you guys are going to go back out or not, but it doesn't look good.
We don't do rain.
Yeah.
We don't do rain.
Neither do I, Cindy.
I don't think that's stopping anyone. That's not stopping anyone from having a good time in here, though. It looks like everybody's very much enjoying themselves at this event. And what does it mean to you, Cindy, to see the Madison community turn out the way that it does for all of these events that you have year-round?
It's awesome. It really is. Madison, we have many, many nonprofits in this community, but we are a supportive community, which is wonderful. And I think once you meet somebody that has utilized Gilda's Club, you really understand the importance, because when you go through cancer, only somebody else that's going through it can talk to you about it. It's a
the truth.
totally different experience.
That's awesome. And again, it's a powerful cause, and it's an amazing thing to see the community come together. And I know everyone's in here because it's raining outside,
Right.
but to see everybody inside all gathered together, seeing how much fun they're having at an event like this, supporting such a wonderful cause, and you and
Thank
Coach
you.
Alvarez being right at the origins of it,
So-
that's so cool to see how it's become what it has.
And last, I'd like to say we always can use volunteers. We can always use money. And we call it a club because when you go to Gilda's, you do sign up and become a member.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Cindy Alvarez,
Thank
for
you.
joining us
Cindy.
and talking
Thank
about
you.
this amazing event. Cindy Alvarez joining us here on the Barry Alvarez Show, along with Derek Engler and Tarek Saleh. I'm Jesse Nelson. We're going to bring Coach back in. They're making an announcement about the golf status here at Tacoma Golf
I
Club.
love it when Coach said, when did it become the Barry Alvarez Show?
That's
signed
new.
up, Coach.
That's new this year. It's always been the Barry Alvarez Show. It's just, that's we officially changed the name of it for the season 2. We said, well, we got this guy. We might as well draw people in. That's what everyone's here for. Coach Alvarez rejoins us. Thank you so much to you for allowing Cindy to join us on the program here.
I'm
This is
surprised I got
incredible.
back in.
Well, I think she heard they might start golf back up here pretty soon. So it looks like the people might be heading back out before we know it as the weather starts to dissipate here at Tacoma Golf Club. All right, so a lot to talk about with the Wisconsin Badgers. And again, we only have our radio audience until 12:45, in which case the Milwaukee Brewers pregame show for Game 1 of their doubleheader with the Chicago Cubs will be coming your way. We're going to continue until 2 o'clock on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. So let's talk about the offense, because there's a new offensive coordinator rolling into town in Jeff Grimes. Twice he has been a finalist for National Coordinator of the Year. He runs the more traditional Wisconsin offense as we know it. It's not going to be the same Wisconsin that we saw a decade ago. It's going to be a modern version of it and a different version than we've seen under Phil Longo as the offensive coordinator the last 2 years. Derek, I want to start with you. What has you optimistic about what Jeff Grimes brings to the Badgers offense in 2025?
Well, obviously the philosophy. I mean, we Badger Nation, let alone alumni, coaches that have coached here, we're scratching their heads a lot of time when, we're in, a half a yard, fourth and short, third, and we're in shotgun, what have you. But that it's just not our foundation. It's not our philosophy. That's not what we do. And I think Coach Grimes is really starting right in the spring. They're getting after it. He knows how important it is to have balance as well. A lot of play action. I'm really interested to see, how this offensive line, the center had some injury issues, and we need him to stay healthy. We really do, because I think Brunner and Malman, they're obviously our two best offensive linemen. This transfer kid, if he can hold down the blind side, the left tackle spot, that's really important too. And so I'm really hoping that he is the player that we think he was when he hit the transfer portal and we got him in here, because that injury to the big boy, to Haywood in the spring, that hurt. Because there is a consistent, especially with the transfer portal depth, at a lot. And Coach, you know this. How many colleges is depth a constant concern amongst the head coaches because of the transfer portal?
Yeah, most places don't have depth.
Yeah,
most depth is a luxury. Most people just go in. If you have 6 linemen, you're lucky.
Right.
So you're exactly right, Derek. And I like the philosophy. I like the fact that they want to run the ball and then go off of the run. We made a living doing that here, and that's when we've had success, is when we did that, establish the run. I said when I took the job, all I have to do, I look around the state. I recruited this state for all these years when I was at Iowa. You look around the state and you see we got a lot of big guys in this state. We have linemen. We have natural linemen in this state. So you can get them. We're not going to have a lot of guys like Michael Bennett.
Right.
You're going to get a Michael Bennett once every 10 years or a couple of the other good running backs. Gordon and a few of the other guys.
I was going to say, in your case, it might have been every year, but I understand what you're saying.
When we had a good one, we got them. But you think you can count them all, over my 16 years on a hand.
Yeah. I mean, offensive linemen, this is the best because we just pound. We'd be running stretch with Fletch, Moss, Ronnie, just pound them, inside zone, some counter, some power. And then all of a sudden we're doing nakeds and defense.
Yeah.
They hate it because, they're just running and they're like, oh, man, and there goes the ball the other direction on a play action on a naked. And that's really what you want. You want defenses to be like, God, they just kicked us in the teeth for like 4 or 5 plays in a row. Now we're running to the sideline and nobody's over there because it's a naked,
That's well put, Derek, because as a former defensive player and coach, you're in there and you're screwing in. You're playing us. You're screwing in because the line, we had the big guys up front and they're coming up and they're comboing you. So you have 650 pounds whacking you and then working off of you, and you're bracing for that. The next thing you know, it's play action. The quarterback's back. Now you got to take off. It's hard on D-line.
Yep.
It's really hard on them and creates problems, and that's where we made a living.
So there's a part of this new offense that I wanted to run by you guys because I heard this the other day and it hadn't resonated with me this way. So not only is it a full philosophy change to go back to establishing the run, and of course that means developing, in the trenches. We want to make sure we're dominating the offensive line, and then on the other side of the ball, you want to have the defense playing strong. Well, by practicing against that in training camp and in these practices leading up to the start of the season, instead of going against the spread offense, that should theoretically help the defense be prepared for being stronger up front, too, when they're going up against a ground and pound offense throughout practice. Is that true, Derek?
Well, yeah, I think for obvious reasons, when there's a physicality that's brought to a brand of football like that, not only does your body respond differently, it becomes thicker, tougher. You're not as prone to injury because you're getting the repetition of some banging up some pads, and that's really important. And I think we'll only be better for it, and we'll only be better for it, in November, and when we got Bielema and Illinois coming in here. That's when we're going to need it because they got a good defense. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they have the most returning starters.
Yeah,
in the Big
Illinois is
Ten.
returning a bunch of starters from a couple of years ago.
When Brett comes out and says, we're going to be good.
Yeah.
Normally Brett's going to downplay it, but he's got everyone back, and he's very confident in how good that football team's going to be.
So, Coach, what did that mean back in the day when you were the head coach of this program and you had, we were establishing the guys up front, the recruits that you were just talking about, dominating the state, bringing those big fellas in up front. What did that mean in practice, and how did it translate then to game action?
Well, our practices were always physical. We went good on good, minimum 20 minutes a day. We'd run our inside run good against good. And during the off season, we would do it 20 minutes a day every day we practiced. During the season, we do it Monday and Tuesday. So our guys are going to be physical. Both offense and defensive fronts are going to be physical. And if not, you're not going to be on the field for us. And so when you go out and play, that's the way they play. They're trained to play that way. And if you play a team that isn't accustomed to that, they wear down.
What's interesting about that, Coach, is Jesse, so there's a way coaches have to be able to inside drill 9-on-7, to be able to coach a very violent, fast-paced, but then at the same time be an athlete and stay on your feet. If you did not stay on your feet, all hell would break loose. We'll reset that clock like tomorrow. We'll just start right over because that was so important. And Coach would lose his mind if guys were falling on the ground. Because that's where injuries happen, and it's a mess. You have to be violent, physical, fast, and under control.
There's a lot to that. First of all, you have to play with the base. And you can't play defense or offense. You can't be an offensive lineman after you make contact and fall on the ground. And defensively,
you block up the whole hole.
And defensively, if you're on the ground, you're a bad defensive player.
Yeah.
So
the ground is generally bad, is what I'm hearing there.
Terrible. Get this. We practice this way. This is the way we played at practiced and played at Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
We were run Lou Holtz's, philosophy. But this is how we practiced, and there was never anyone on the ground. At my first practice, I'll never forget. Spring practice.
Don Davey might have been the only one standing.
We snapped the ball. It looked like I was in a bowling alley and somebody just threw a strike. Everyone was on the ground. I'm crazy. It took a long time to teach that, and it's teaching, and it's fundamentals, and it's playing with a base, and our guys know how to do it now, and it makes you a better football team.
Yeah, and a lot goes into that. And, our Rose Bowl year, I'm on the scout team, so I got Mike Thompson and Lamarck Shackelford and Carlos Fowler. And, they're working with the young guys. Because we had, all those young guys that we went on to, block for Ron and have him break Herschel Walker's freshman rushing record that year. We ran the ball 40, 45 times a game my senior year.
Ron had carried 50.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was something that you as a team, the players were the vets were coaching up the young scout guys. That's how important it was. And that all trickled down from Coach Alvarez and the staff, of course.
It's going to hopefully feel and look different this year for the Wisconsin offense. And I think we see already the mentality, the literal size of the guys up front on both sides of the ball is significantly improved from last year. Just the amount of mass that'll be in that front on both sides of the ball. So I do feel optimistic
that
mass. This is going to be better. And hopefully they're able to stand up and not fall onto the ground like we were just talking about as well. All right, so lots still to talk about here on the show. We're going to talk about Billy Edwards Jr., the transfer quarterback from Maryland, coming in to take over. I want to talk about leadership. Coach Fickell talking about leadership throughout this offseason and what that means for the Wisconsin football program. Tarek Saleh is going to join us. We'll take a little bit of a closer look at that schedule that looks so daunting in the eyes of many for the coming season. We're going to do all that as we continue on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Coming up next on 100.5 ESPN, Milwaukee Brewers baseball, Game 1 of the doubleheader at Wrigley Field against the Chicago Cubs, starting a 5-game set that may go a long way in determining who wins the National League Central Division. Brewers-Cubs coming up next on 100.5 ESPN. The Barry Alvarez Show with Derek Engler, Tarek Saleh, and Jesse Nelson continues next. This is ESPN Madison.
The Barry Alvarez Show continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Play Brewers Baseball Bingo presented by U.S. Cellular for the chance to win prizes all season long. Download the MLB Ballpark app from the App Store or Google Play to get in on the action. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN.
Time now for a special ESPN Wisconsin presentation.
Fly ball, right field.
In me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants a blast of magic, 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 oh. I got the magic in me.
Trick that I let tempo blow your mind. Pick a verse, any verse, I hypnotize you with every line. I'll need a volunteer. How about you with the eyes? Come on down to the front, stand right here and don't be shy. I have you time traveling, have your mind babbling.
The Barry Alvarez Show with Derek Engler and Tarek Saleh, who's trying to call me on the phone right now. I guess he isn't tuned in clearly, but he will be joining us coming up in 15 minutes. Oh, let's get you reconnected here, Barry. Let's see if we got that. How's that? Any better? Let's make the adjustment here. Gotcha? Test 1, 2. There we go. Okay, it's the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Jesse Nelson alongside Derek Engler and former Wisconsin head coach Barry Alvarez. Lots to talk about as we continue the countdown. 10 days out to the college football season for our Wisconsin Badgers. Under the lights, August 28th, hosting Miami, Ohio to kick off this season. And under center, guys, it's going to be a brand new quarterback. Transfer Billy Edwards Jr. comes in from Maryland. Third different quarterback in 3 years for head coach Luke Fickell since he took over the program. Billy Edwards Jr., 262 passing yards a game last year, was second in the Big Ten. He threw for 2,881 yards throughout the course of the season, 65% completion percentage. He can throw the football, but he also has a little bit of mobility as well. Derek, let's start with you. When you think about Billy Edwards Jr. taking over, it's not a competition. Coach Fickell has said from day one he's going to be the starter this year. It's a different approach than the last couple of years. What do you think of what Billy Edwards brings to the table?
Well, let's keep him healthy. Number one,
I agree there.
Yeah, we've had some unfortunate circumstances, obviously, with I think Tanner Mordecai in Coach Fickell's first year, I think he missed 5 games, and he was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And we keep him healthy, and if we take the pressure off of him, which we should, by establishing the line of scrimmage and running the football and adding play action, that really takes a lot off the quarterback. Let him get into his groove. Let him hit Kekahuna on the slot. That's going to be really important. I really like Kekahuna, that slot position.
I do too.
I really do. I think that's going to open up a lot of things. Tucker Ashcraft, he's a good tight end. It's not really what we've been used to, obviously, with players like Coach's grandson and Jake Ferguson and many, 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 many more at the tight end position. He's going to have to make some plays. It's a very important position in this offense. So.
By the way, we'll get back to the quarterback conversation. I was waiting for the first Jake Ferguson reference to officially say congratulations to your grandson, Coach Alvarez.
Well, thank you.
On his engagement this offseason. We have not had you on since that occurred, so wedding preparations, I'm sure, are underway.
I was just with his mother. Yeah, they are underway.
Mom's right in front of us. You can ask her, Jesse.
They've got about a year, but
oh, great! Time for an invite for me.
And he's just signed a new contract, so
congratulations to him on that as well.
Yeah.
Big offseason for Jake.
I'd like to see him have a great year, another great year.
We would all love to see that for him and for you and the whole family as well. All right, back to business. Billy Edwards comes in as the quarterback this year, Coach. What would it mean for Luke Fickell to simply have the stability of a consistent, healthy starting quarterback of preference?
That takes a lot of pressure off the head football coach. If you've got a quarterback that you can trust, you know what you're going to get out of him. He's efficient. He's productive. You can establish the run when you want to throw the ball. He's going to be effective. Then you can throw on first and second down. That you can throw in run situations and have confidence that you're going to have you're going to give him high percentage throws, but you got to have confidence he's going to get the ball there and put the ball where it needs to be. So that's huge to have someone who's a veteran, who's been effective. And and knows the system. So I watched him practice the other day. I was impressed. He looked sharp, and I expect him to have a great year.
So I got some stats for you guys on this. So in the 2 years that Luke Fickell's been the head coach at the University of Wisconsin, his record when his QB1 started and played the whole game, 8-2 over the 2 years with Tanner Mordecai and Tyler Van Dyke last year. Record in games where QB1 got hurt early, 0-2. The Iowa game with Mordecai 2 years ago and the Alabama game with Van Dyke last year got hurt early in those games. And then record in games started or primarily played by the backup quarterback, who for the last 2 years was Braden Locke, 1-5. So when QB1 is healthy and playing the majority of the game, Coach Fickell has the team 8-2. When he doesn't, they're not performing as well. Is it that simple of a formula, Derek?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that simple of a formula. We won a lot of games with, quarterbacks that, didn't maybe force too much, make stupid errors, control the clock. I know it sounds boring, but, do what we do with running the football and controlling the line of scrimmage. But there's a lot to that formula, and I think those types of quarterbacks are really important, and obviously have had a lot of success at Wisconsin and won championships by doing that. So from what I understand out of training camp, in Platteville, Edwards didn't force it. wasn't making a lot of the dumb mistakes. That's what we need. You can't give an opponent the ball. You just can't. It's going to kill you. Turnovers will kill you. And I think if he can protect the football, and we move the chains, I think we'll be just fine.
It may seem like a basic critique, but the two big games that Wisconsin's hosted under the lights the last couple of years, big interceptions cost them.
And it's easy to get lost in today's day and age of shiny objects and, a lot of these moving the football and fast action, I get it. But really, the game has not changed, and you have to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's what it comes down to. I don't care what level you're at. You could be Pop Warner, you could be in the National Football League. It doesn't matter. It truly starts there.
Coach, what does it mean to have a high IQ quarterback? That's one way Billy Edwards has been described.
Well, he understands the game. He knows when, not to force the ball. He knows where to go with the football. He knows when he looks at a defense where the soft spot is, where the weakness of that particular front or secondary is. So, a guy that understands the game, a guy that steps in the huddle and takes command of the huddle and holds 10 people accountable in there. All those things. He's the head coach on the field. And you need someone with a high IQ and someone that commands the rest of the team to be effective. And that's what the good ones do.
I don't want to ask you to name names. I won't ask you that by any means. But what percentage of the time in your 10 years as a head coach would you say you went out there with a high IQ quarterback as QB1 ready to go?
Every time we won.
It varied week to week, right? Love that. Billy Edwards is the quarterback coming in from Maryland. What I love also, guys, is that this is someone who has Big Ten starts under his belt at Maryland last year. So he's not going to be intimidated by any of the environments that they're going to go play in this year. He's not going to be intimidated by any of the opponents on the schedule. He's started at a high level. He's in the same conference that he was last year. Do you think, Derek, there's any value to that coming as opposed to a guy coming from the ACC or a different conference like we saw the last couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. Regardless of, there's a lot of legacy Big Ten teams in here that, we know what this style of football is about. We've added USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington. I get it, right? But at the same time, I think those former Pac-12 teams, they're adjusting a little bit to what this whole conference is about. And I don't think that's going to change. I really don't. You have, like we talked about earlier in the show, the Indianas and, we know what Coach Bielema is about, and at University of Illinois, those are old school Big Ten style football teams. So, it's I would say there is a lot to having experience in this league, and so we have that with Billy Edwards.
Coach, you talked a lot last season on this show about those West Coast teams coming into the Big Ten for the first time, and Wisconsin got to see several of them on the schedule last year. Well, they get a few more this year. Oregon, Washington comes here to Camp Randall Stadium later in the season. Do you think those teams will be more acclimated to the style of Big Ten football in year two, or do you think there's still an advantage Wisconsin can find if they play more traditional Big Ten football?
They learned in a hurry.
Yeah, I think they did too.
They learned in a hurry. We have played both those teams in the past. Some of my teams have played. We played Washington. That was
1992. I think we went all the way out to Washington.
Maybe my first year. I think we played
or
Washington.
90. Yeah,
they're defending national champs, but. Those teams learned in a hurry, and the coaches in the league, and particularly the ones from the West Coast coming into the league, they discuss that fast, and that's not a secret. They know that they have to go out and find bigger linemen, guys that can hold up, because if you get a bunch of small guys, you're small and quick, you can't hold up in this league for 12 games.
One of the other quirks this year, and I don't know if quirk's the right word to say here, but the approach that Luke Fickell took as opposed to the last 2 years where he said it was an open quarterback competition as the team packed up and went out to Platteville for the preseason practice. This year he said Billy Edwards Jr. is QB1, and that is solid, and he wanted that so that he could develop his leadership style and the guys could know going in, this is our leader.
Yeah.
What do you think of that approach?
I think it's great because you have one that's head and shoulders, experience-wise and ability-wise right now. He has shown you to this point he's done everything in the out of season and through his experience that he's earned that spot. Now, Luke isn't just giving it to him. He's earned that spot. And I think that's good for a coach to do that. And that guy's now stamped your leader in the offseason.
Derek?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, I really, I take it upon the offensive line, considering what we just talked about with the QB1 injuries the last 2 seasons under Coach Fickell. The protection needs to be there. The left tackle, I brought this up. We lost Haywood in the spring. This transfer, I think he's from Western Michigan or something like that. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. He's got to be ready. He's got to be ready. And I don't care if it's baptism by fire or what, but he's got to be ready to go and protect the blind side. We got to keep the depth of the pocket so there's some throwing lanes so he can, because he does have some mobility, so he can move around in the pocket, and then just be smart, and keep him healthy. And I mean, we're gonna be facing some defensive fronts, but you know what? That's the Big Ten, so we'll be ready.
I'm excited to continue to dive into the conversation about leadership. Billy Edwards as a leader, as QB1, some other players on the team stepping up as leaders, as veteran players on the roster this coming season. And who better to talk about that with than Tarek coming up next.
Go.
He's going to join us on the phone. Tarek Saleh joins. Will be at full
only.
strength for the first time in 2025.
He probably hit Pepe's and Sally's. He's got his Philip Pizza out there in Connecticut, New Haven. Da beats.
He's on a full belly. We're on a full strength here coming up here in just a couple of minutes. On the other side of the break, we will hear from Tarek Saleh here on the Barry Alvarez Show with Coach Barry Alvarez, Derek Engler, Tarek Saleh. I'm Jesse Nelson on ESPN Madison.
Don't touch that cocktail.
I'd love to coach a game like that.
Oh,
they
man.
may not see a pass in the second half. I'd run that clock. That game would be over. We'd be home having cocktails at 3:30.
Coach will be back after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Barry Alvarez Show with Derek Engler and Tarek Saleh on ESPN Madison. Live video streaming on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel from the Gilda's Club Red Doors Golf Outing at Nakoma Golf Course. My name is Jesse Nelson, and we thank you so much for joining us here on the season premiere of the Barry Alvarez Show, 10 days away from kickoff of the college football season for the Wisconsin Badgers.
Wow,
Thursday night, August 28th.
It gets me fired up.
At Camp Randall Stadium against Miami, Ohio. Yeah, it's just around the corner. Can't believe it. Next week, Thursday, we start the college football season.
Coach, what would you think? What would you think about, back when you were coaching us, having a Thursday night game at 8 o'clock?
I like it because basically you're kicking off college football, and all eyes are on you. And especially the first game. I don't like Thursday or Friday games during the season because that disrupts your regular schedule. But you can adjust.
Kickoff, yeah.
But the kickoff game on a Thursday, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you adjust that schedule accordingly. X amount of days, before the game you have off and work your schedule, your weekly schedule right up to the game. And then you have more time to prepare for the second game.
That's right.
I like it.
I agree. As a fan, I think the Thursday night kickoff is fantastic. You get to enjoy that. You get into Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
And then you get to enjoy another full Saturday of college football and scout some of the competition for the rest of the season as well. It's become such a big weekend, 5-6 days full of college football. And the Badgers get to be part of it on Thursday night, hosting Miami, Ohio next week. It is our pleasure now to be at full strength here on the Barry Alvarez Show with Derek Engler and Tarek Saleh joining us remotely for the season premiere. Tarek, how we doing?
I'm doing great. I'm fired up. It's a beautiful day out here in Connecticut visiting family, and it's great to be talking football. Great to hear all your guys' voices, and football season is tremendous, so just happy to be a part of it all.
Is that just him bragging that it's so sunny and gorgeous out in Connecticut while we're all inside with the golfers here because it just started raining?
He got a full belly. He already had Pepe's or Sally's or both.
I just had a Caprice. I had meatballs last
That's
night.
enough, Tarek.
I got to give you a whole scouting report, so it's all good.
Coach, Tarek not showing up for the first day of his show this year. Any messaging you would share with him if he was one of your players still?
No, just like in the NFL, what happens when you don't play? You move down the ladder. He'll be doing a show next year outside here with the door open.
Watch out, Tarek, moving down the depth chart before you know it. Tarek, we did spend much of the first hour just talking about the anticipation of this season, the off-season changes here with new offensive coordinator, new quarterback coming to town, and the excitement of a new college football season. Even as daunting as the schedule may look to some, what stands out most to you from this off-season and getting set for the kickoff of the new season next week?
I think obviously Coach Grimes coming in as new offensive coordinator, that's exciting. I think he's going to have a run mindset and be able to get real nasty. I think Billy Edwards, right? Get his name right. He seems like a veteran who's consistent, is going to protect the football, kind of traditional Badger quarterback that we've had in the past. And we're just getting back to the basics. And then we're on defense, I see a lot of bulk up front, big guys, 300-pounders. And I think we have 2 or 3 pass rushers on the edge that, with the Mason kid, the Wick kid, Peterson, really excited about that. And then the middle linebackers just seem like they're really poised to have a big year. I think the secondary with Holman coming back, and there's some young guys on the other corner, and I think there's some safeties that are veteran guys. That, obviously losing Waller is a setback, but I think these guys are ready to fill it. So I'm really excited. I think if I could take the pulse of college football, with all these transfers, it's really hard to know what your team is like, right, and how they're going to come together. I mean, before, every year you had to build that chemistry, but now with a whole turnover of a roster, we don't know exactly how our guys are going to respond, and clearly we don't know what the other teams are going to do. So, hey, we all got to tape our ankles, put the mouthpiece in, and get after it. And even though the schedules seem daunting, it may not be. who knows? We'll see.
There you go, guys. Tarek is excited about literally every position. I think he listed all of them in his assessment there.
Well done. Jesse, I had a question. Rico Hallman, I think, is going to be an absolute stud in the backfield. He's also a great leader. You asked about who are some of the leaders on the team. I know on that side of the ball because I got to spend some time around him. He was one of Ted Kellner's interns, and I got to get to know him a little bit, and he is a natural-born leader. And having someone like that in the back end, I think, is going to be fantastic. What is the situation? Was it Forkering?
Nazir Forkering. Yeah.
Where is that at? I know he appealed.
Yes, it sounds like if he's going to get any eligibility to play, it's going to come a few games into the season. I would not bank on him at the earliest. I would bank on him trying to come back in October.
Wasn't there another appeal?
Yes, there's multiple appeals,
right?
And that's why there's like multiple levels this thing has to go through, which is why it's not as cut and dry as if he wins one, he's good. Like it's going to take a little time.
Obviously, his people feel as though he has a case.
Yes,
and we must feel as though he has a case, or you wouldn't keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
And the NC2A, somewhere along the line, you have to have some common sense. This is still about the kids. It still is about the players. And come on. This is ridiculous.
Common sense in the NC2A, that just doesn't, they don't rhyme together.
That's a story as old as time. You guys are talking about leadership, and Coach Fickell has even said that culture change and winning games starts with leadership. Coach, what does that mean to you?
Well, you can't have a good team. The coach is not out in the huddle with you. And when the ball's moving, whether you're on offense or defense, and things are going poorly, someone needs to step up. Someone needs to pick up things in practice. Someone has to have their eyes on things off the field. And when you have good seniors, and you don't have to be a senior. There's no classification that says you have to be this to be a leader. Although the longer you've been around, you take more ownership in a program. And you see it going a certain way, and that's what you try to guide your teammates to. But if you don't have things off the field and things that are going on the field that are lined up with the coach's thinking, you're in trouble because it's helter-skelter then.
Yeah, and Coach Tarek, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're on the same page here, but, we were very, very fortunate to have Coach Alvarez and his staff and some of the individual position coaches that we had. The best leadership happens when coaches are not in the locker room and they're not present because they've already instilled their principles and what they're teaching to who they would qualify as the leaders of that team to then instill it inside that locker room. Would you agree?
Amen. I mean, you have the foundation of what Coach built, and then when you have adversity, you basically have the roadmap to do it. But you need some guys. You need guys in the locker room who are going to stand up, and especially when we went to the Rose Bowl that first year.
Oh yeah.
Guys like Joe Panos, they automatically kicked in. Just used what Coach embedded in us, and then just exemplified it. Led us to a tremendous year. So leadership is critical.
It truly is policing the locker room. I mean, and having all the guys buy in, because this isn't the coach that you're pissed off because he was grinding your ass at practice, in double days. This is your teammate. This is who you do not want to let down. And that's how you feel, especially as a young guy. If you get that instilled in a locker room, you're going to have success.
I'll give you a good example. It's just simple. People won't even think about this. I walk in the locker room, after practice or after a practice, a half hour after practice, whatever. If you've got shoes and socks and stuff thrown all over the locker room, it's a pigsty. Now, who's going to pick that up? You think
fool me once, Tarek.
Next day I've got him, next meeting. Okay, I tell managers, leave it out there. We're not going to pick it up. I mean, student managers aren't going to pick it up. The equipment people are going to. You want to live in a pigsty? That's fine. Just throw your stuff on the floor. That's okay. We'll leave it there. We'll use a scoop shovel at the end of the year. Get it out of here.
Well, Coach, we had a snack room at the seminary, and the snack room was
Remember,
in shambles.
if there was Haagen-Dazs wrappers, man, oh boy, we knew that the ice cream was going away.
That's right. That's right. Your mother is not here to pick up after you. She's at home. So you've got to pick up. And you see somebody leaving their stuff laying around, throwing out, you better get after it because
it's like a few good men, right? The code red was out. Code red was full effect.
Code red.
That's totally true. And it's the little. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but it's so important in life in general is the little things and paying attention to detail. Like that was what was instilled. Who gives a shit? If it's a Haagen-Dazs wrapper, I mean. But that's not what's important because if you don't care about laying an ice cream wrapper in the snack room, that coach brought all this stuff in for us, to make it, this Holy Name Seminary. We didn't have air conditioning, but he brought these huge, massive commercial air conditioners in there for us, stuff like that, little things. But you know what? You got to pay attention to what you're doing, and if you're not going to win. You're not going to have success.
Do that, then you're not going to finish up that combo block.
That's right.
You're not going to finish things or do the little things.
Took a 9-inch
on the
step
field
versus a 4-inch
That's
step.
right. The wrong angle.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's a little thing that you didn't do off the field that carries over. You don't worry about details.
So then let me ask you guys this, because in one of his recent interviews on the Big Ten Network, Coach Fickell said this. And I want to make sure I read that. I wrote this down here. There's some chicken scratch here, but I want to make sure I read this exactly right. I've preached some things the last 2 years that I'm not sure it's the way we lived. And he's talking about culture and leadership and changing that for this coming season. Coach, what stands out to you when you hear that sentence?
Well, they weren't, just little things. If he brought up the locker room, then he preached it, but no one did it. It's just, the little things that coaches ask that aren't being done, and then no one follow a coach. That's the finishing touch as a coach. You have to follow up to make sure that it is done, so that it becomes automatic, whether it's on the football field or off the football field.
Tarek?
And I think he also alluded to the age of the team, and I think early on they're a very young team, and maybe they didn't have that enough leaders in there, enough older guys to carry out and build that culture. And I think that with bringing in older guys who've come from different programs, and then having coaching them up and getting on the same page, through that recruiting process, I think he's confident that he's going to be able to instill that culture that he's trying to get across.
A big part of that too, Tarek, is the challenge that all programs are facing. When you have a third of the roster flip over every year, right? Because they don't know each other. They didn't go through the grind of a winter strength and conditioning and spring ball and summer strength and conditioning. They haven't been there, with these guys for years, right? So it's a quicker turnaround to create these bonds, this types of relationships that you need within the locker room to really have success, because there's got to be a certain, a trust aspect that comes into play, obviously, and not knowing guys.
No question.
And, that's really important, and that's hard to do. That's a really tough challenge for a head coach these days.
All right, Tarek, we had a little bit of a schedule adjustment here with the program here for the Gilda's Club Red Doors golf outing now taking place here in the clubhouse. So, Tarek, we're gonna say farewell to you for now. We're gonna be rejoined by you next week on. Unless, do you have any other wisdom you would love to share with us before we hang up on you?
Now you know why I went through the whole roster, because I knew I only had like 5 minutes. You're gonna cut me off. Forget you, man. I charge per minute. You know what I charge per minute? I'm expensive.
Careful.
Okay?
Careful, you got more weeks.
We should have hung up 5 minutes ago, and that's the case. Trying to save the company some money here. Tarek, we appreciate you, buddy.
All right, guys, go get them. I appreciate it. Let me come on. I'll see you next week.
All right, T.
Can't wait to see you next week. Tarek Saleh joining us remotely here on the on the Barry Alvarez Show. First quarter in the jar for the year with Derek Engler and, of course, the coach, Barry Alvarez. I'm Jesse Nelson. While the program takes place here, we're going to step aside. We will be back with you, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the upcoming schedule for the 2025 Wisconsin football season. So stick around. We'll be back here on the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison.
The Barry Alvarez Show continues after this on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
If you look back throughout history, going back to when Barry got here, it seems like our best teams are the teams that don't have a high ranking going into the season, don't have really high expectations, because the Badger football program has always been built on the backs of walk-ons, Wisconsin natives, guys that are hardworking, they're tough, they're resilient, they're willing to do the things that the other teams and people are not able to do, and they always come together as a team because they're unselfish. And I see this team in a very same perspective, in the very same place as we were in 2006, because you are coming off of a tough year. You are coming off of high expectations when they brought Fickell in here, right? People forget very quickly in sports, which is good and bad, but they forget that, like, he was the top name as a head coaching candidate potentially for a while there, and everybody thought maybe he was going to take over Ohio State. And Chris McIntosh goes in there, and they have this great relationship right off the bat from their time playing in the Big Ten, and we get Fickell, and everybody's all excited about what he's going to bring and how he's going to be able to recruit more top flight talent. And I think the expectations are not there anymore, and the team is feeling like, hey, we still feel like we can be somebody. We can do this. And I think that's a really good position for Wisconsin football because it fits the culture here, who we are as Wisconsin people, always pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. Nobody's given us a chance, but we've always found a way. And I think the makeup of the team feels a lot more like those teams with guys that just want to work. They just want to play together. They just want to grind, and they feel like there's a belief in their coaching staff and each other.
And the identity stood out. And, in football, no one thing is isolated. Nothing acts alone. And I think it's saying that the hiring of Jeff Grimes is going to have ripple effects across this entire team. You talked to Coach Fickell, and he said he felt this offense struggled with confidence. Confidence comes from knowing who you are. With Jeff Grimes, they're going to have an identity. He has an offensive line background. This Badgers offensive line has been vocal about how pleased they are with the scheme. All of a sudden, you're going to be able to run the ball. That's going to have ripple effects. You look at Mordecai and Van Dyke, you bring in two quarterbacks. Both were injured since getting here. Running the ball is going to keep Billy Edwards clean. It also, you talk about the schedule. Well, if you can run the ball, suddenly you dictate the terms of the game. You keep your defense fresh. Another key point is explosive plays. Now you can get into play action. So I think the hiring of Jeff Grimes is going to have ripple effects that don't just turn around the offense, but the whole team.
He's doing a great job. And it shows when you see the competitive nature of his group. You know, there's a lot on those guys. This is a new offense. I mean, obviously, a lot of those guys have been here since January or have gone through spring ball and some of the walkthroughs and things like that. But you're always trying to evaluate on their preparation, and then you try to evaluate as a whole in that group, what's the competitive level, right? What's the competitive spirit? And you can say, well, if you got great players, it doesn't really, those guys are the ones who are going to play. I think what he has done is established some competitive nature in there that, hey, there's a lot of new things we're asking wide receivers maybe to do that they hadn't done. You know, whether they're new here or even in the last 2 years. And that just might be line up closer to the line of scrimmage. That might be tight formations. That might be, you know, some play action, some cracks, anything. But continue to see a buy-in, a competitive spirit. I know it's day one, but for the last 8 months, it's been impressive.
Used to keep it cool, used to be a fool. All about the bounce in my step. Watch it on the news, what you gonna do? I could hit refresh and forget. Used to keep it cool. Should I keep it light, stay out of the fight? No one's gonna listen to me. If I write a song, preaching what is wrong, will they let me sing on TV? Should I keep it light? Is that right? Way up we go. Been up and down that road. Way up, oh no. We gon' burn the whole house down. Watch me standing in line. You're only serving lies. You got something to hide. We gon' burn the whole house down. We gon' burn the whole house down. Yeah, used to let it go. Walk into the show, gawking at the tricks up your sleeve. Too good to be truthful. I'm in a room full of entertainers and thieves. Used to let it go. Oh no. Way up we go. Been up and down that road. Way up, oh no. We gon' burn the whole house down. Watch me standing in line. You're only serving lies. You got something to hide. We gon' burn the whole house down. We gon' burn the whole house down.
Could you define in your own words like what that standard is? I know, everybody said like last year wasn't the standard. What, in your words, what is Wisconsin football standard this year?
Really all the time, and that's one thing that he reiterates in our meetings a lot, and that's just what we want to be about. And we know that complementary football is really and it goes deeper than just special teams and for offense and defense, just the regular stuff, just how we hold each other accountable to the standard and how we hold it as a team accountable to what we want to do. And that means it can't be no gray area. Everything has to be specific and everybody has to be held to the same standard. We know how important that is, so I think that's something that as a culture we're trying to embrace. That's something that we're trying to put our best foot forward in and truly trying to be intentional about that.
What's poppin', everyone? Pablo Iglesias here with Vinnie Anthony, man. Just ahead of training camp or fall camp for you. First off, vibes. How you feeling as you guys get ready to take off?
I'm excited. I can't wait. I mean, camp means the season's here, so that's what I'm ready for. So definitely can't wait to get out there and just be with the guys and be in P Vegas.
Yeah. P Vegas, man. So all the coaches, especially Coach Tressel, I know Coach Grimes is new to this too, but I mean, for a lot of you guys, like, going away and getting to spend time with the guys too, you've been a part of this a few times. How special is it, to start off the first few weeks of the season of camp and get away with these guys?
I think it's very important because it really builds us closer as a team, just because it's like you have nothing else to do except for be with your brothers and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a real cool way to bond and really just grind the whole time. I mean, it's like remember the Titans kind of thing. You go away, you just build a team, and that's the whole goal of fall camp, just to get ready for the season.
What are your goals specifically too?
Like for camp or for the season?
For camp and the season. What are you hoping to prove?
For camp, I really just want I want to feel very confident in our team and knowing that like whoever steps in, like whoever we're going against, like we're gonna beat them. And I want to feel that way going in. Like if I can feel that way going in, like leaving camp, like leaving Plat Vegas, shoot, we'll be good because then we still have 2 more weeks and I'm just excited. I can't even lie. Personal goals. I just want to make sure I'm healthy, feel great coming out of camp, make sure the body feeling good, weight's good, and all that, and just be good. I don't know.
Yeah,
man. Explain it. It's just.
There's a big boom potential for you, and there's a huge talented room, man, for the wide receivers.
Oh,
What are you expecting for yourself? How are you guys pushing each other each and every day?
Every day we come in, we have that killer mindset, and I feel like everybody in our room has that, and I feel like that's a really good thing for the type of offense we have. We're going to be blocking, and we know we're going to be running a lot. Who wouldn't want to do it anyway? You're a receiver, you might as well just dig your head in there and just grind. So it's just. I hope that everybody else feels the same way I do and just excited to get out there and just keep working, grinding. And, the goal for the room is just to be the best unit on the team. That's our goal, just to be the people that everybody can rely on no matter what happens, no matter special teams, offense, like whatever it is, like you can count on us.
I don't know if I'll show you the video at some point too, but Coach Grimes was getting on everybody. I think you got a good mustache going on here too. You said that a lot of it
today. Oh my God, it's my first time doing it. I feel so different.
So he said he complimented K. Diacomelli with his facial hair. Is that part of the offensive thing? Like, you guys trying to be like Coach Grimes out here? What's going on with that?
He's saying, let's get these fall camp stashes going. So I was like, I'll do it right before we leave. And me and my roommate Chris, we did it right before we left the crib today. So
so it's like playoff beards, but more of like fall camp stashes. That's what we got going on.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, you talked about this too. The adversity, and Coach Fickell even talked about this over in Vegas in media days. Is that you guys already knew what the schedule was going to be. You guys know. If according to Pro Football Focus, you guys have the hardest schedule across Division One. But you know what? Embracing that challenge, loving every single moment of that too.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows what that schedule is like. When you saw that and what this year brings, does it excite you? Does it worry you? Where are you at with that?
I'm excited. That means it's just bigger opportunities for us to show like how good of a team we are. We're playing the best of the best, and we're going to be in that best of the best conversation. And I just can't wait to show that.
And then just, competition as a whole, too. What are you guys hoping to prove in this new Big Ten still, man?
We're just proving that we're a school that should be feared. I don't want people to just be like, oh, we're just playing Wisconsin. I want to be like, oh, we're playing Wisconsin. Like, we gotta lock in. We got to grind. Like, I want us to be that team, and it starts at camp. Like, we gotta build that culture. And that's what the leaders on the team are doing. Like, we're trying to spread that culture throughout the locker room and just have that mindset, like, we have an opportunity to really, like, change the program, and that's what I want to do.
Vinny, break down the wide receiver room for me. You guys all got different skill sets. Like, who's who in this room? What are you expecting everyone to be?
Just about everybody's fast. You might not see it, but when we see the catapult times and all that, like, I don't think there's anybody under 20 at least. Like, that might be the slowest is 20 miles an hour. So everybody's like fast. That's not a problem for like a deep ball, stuff like that. There's just different skill. We got Tretch is super quick on the inside. Tyrell's real shifty. Joe's tall and can go get the ball. JB's fast and tall and has a crazy range. Chris is strong as everyone. You know what I'm saying? And he also is sneaky fast. People don't really see it as much, but when you actually like watch him run, he's actually like moving very fast too. And he's just a big, strong, contested catch guy. He'll get in there and block. All of us are going to block and stuff like that. I can't wait for Eugene to keep growing through camp and stuff. He's already had a good spring, good summer. And
he's coming from a good family, too. Yeah. I think he's got some genes over there, too.
Yeah, we have people that are good at their own things, and I'm just ready to see it all flourish.
Last thing before we let you go. Who are Badger Nation sleeping on? Who's somebody that you think is going to pop off this year that people aren't talking about enough? This is your chance right here. Can't say yourself either, man. Nah, don't get cheap now. Don't go say yourself.
I'm going to say, I think two people don't get enough hype. I think Renfro doesn't get enough hype on the media side of things. Like we as a team know he's legit. Like he's the real deal. I'll give you three people. I'll say offensive side for real, because
go for it.
I say Renfro. I still think people are sleeping on K because they haven't seen him fully. Like, they don't know how good he really is. Like, you've only seen like little bits and pieces of it, but you see him really go, there's still more than what you've seen.
Okay.
And I say Chris Brooks too.
Okay.
I feel like he slept on too.
Gotcha. One more quick thing too before Charles Perkins too. Like I know on the defense side. Actually, real quick though, who's been going up against you? That's what I want to know. Who's in the one-on-one matchups here with who you've been running with? Who the matchups are going to be in camp? Real quick, I want to know who's cooking who. Be real with us.
I'll probably be. If the thing with Nye goes good, it'll be Nye and Rico most of the time.
Okay. All right. What's it like going up against those two guys?
They're both different, but they're both good in their own ways. Rico's super patient, and he knows how to definitely pattern match. He's real good at that, and he's a super smart player. Nazir's definitely got way stronger and faster too, so he's been more physical, and he's actually using it more. And he has great hips too. He can break down real fast, and they're both just good. They're both challenging, but we make each other better, and our goal is to get to that next level, and we're just pushing ourselves to do that.
My last true question: can you aura farm? And can you do that for us right here?
What you mean by aura farm?
You know what aura? Because there's a difference of like having aura, but then there's aura farming, which is like that dance that kid does on the boat. So we're gonna be asking you and your teammates this.
You want me to dance or something?
Hey, if you can do it, if you want to go for it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The kid on the boat.
And he was like,
yeah. You got it. He's got it there.
Yeah, all that.
Is that gonna be your next touchdown dance?
Somebody told me that, but I feel like it'll be used too much. I'm gonna do something.
Okay, so what do you cook? Okay, he's got a surprise.
It'll be
no button mashing here.
I'm still working on what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure yet, but it's in the works though.
Appreciate it, man. All right. Well, hey, thanks for taking one for the team.
Thank you.
Vinnie Anthony once again, Wisconsin Badger wide receiver. Can't wait to see him blow up. Standing here with Riley Malman. Riley, you guys are getting ready for fall camp. The excitement, the buzz. You know how it goes. Everyone's like, it's Christmas morning. How are you guys feeling ahead of camp?
Yeah, I think everyone's feeling good. Going to Platteville for the third year now, so it's getting a little more familiar for everyone. So it's easy to just kind of tuck right into that routine when you get there and then get things rolling. So I think everyone's excited. A lot of anticipation for this year.
What is it like, too, getting away for those 2 weeks? You know, it's all about, like, brotherhood and bonding, too. I mean, it's more than just football. Coach Tressel was saying that it's not just X's and O's. It is about bonding and getting to know some of these guys, whether they're returning, they're new, all that stuff. What has your experience been like?
Yeah, so, this really just one team in one place, there's nowhere to run to off at night, go into your room, you have a roommate. So it's a lot of team bonding. It's a lot of thinking about football, thinking about team, cutting distractions is the biggest thing going there.
Okay, I thought I remember guys talked about how good the food was last year. Okay, all right. So what was the best? What were the highlights of the food last year?
Oh my gosh, they cook up something every day. They were very diverse too. I swear they went to every country around the world of their type of food, from Thai food to Indian food to, they were running through the world. So it's really all your preference. They kind of got it all. But I'm always a sucker for some fried chicken or fried chicken sandwiches. They had that. They had make your own pizzas. So, they had the whole gauntlet of food. So, they really don't miss there. There's always something.
Okay, power rank this for me. Your cheat day meals. If you have more than one or if you have one specific. If you could, I'll give you 3. Power rank those 3 for me. What are you going with?
I think a big cheat day for me is always Culver's. That's always up there.
That's a good one.
That's a big one. I'm always a sucker for Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. That's one for me, too. That's one for me, too.
Out here.
Yeah, I know. Shout out.
Gotta get this man a deal.
But no, really anything. I mean, sometimes we'll cook something up, just have a crap ton of burgers or something, cooking up with the guys, Jake Renfro and whatnot, and the O-line. So
cheat day is still being a chef, though. So that's the top one.
You can cheat meal as a chef, yes.
You love to see it.
Yeah. Well, maybe bake some cookies after. That's always a good on top.
You're ready to go. What kind of cookies? We going chocolate chip?
Chocolate chip.
Okay.
Chocolate chip. My true favorite's white macadamia nut, but I mean the standard's you get chocolate chip.
I really should not.
She lives for me, says she lives for me, ovation. Who won't motivation? She comes round and she goes down on me, and I make you smile like a drug for you. Do ever what you wanna do, coming over you. Keep on smiling what we go through.
The Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison with Derek Engler Tarek Saleh. My name is Jesse Nelson, and it is our pleasure to be rejoining you from Tacoma Golf Club as the live auction portion of the program continues after some rain put all the guests indoors here for the afternoon, but the rain has dissipated, and it looks like they're all going to be out and about having some fun back out on the golf course in a little bit, supporting Gilda's club, which, of course, Coach Alvarez and his wife Cindy at the forefront, as you heard a little bit earlier in our show here, of getting this whole program started in the Madison area and all the great money and the great causes that it's supported over the years. This has been an awesome opportunity for us to be here. We appreciate you sticking with us through a little bit of a delay there, as we wanted to wait for the program to continue while we had to move inside after the rain throughout the course of the afternoon. So again, Jesse Nelson, Derek Engler, Barry Alvarez here on the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison. One thing I wanted to touch on, guys, before we wrap up for the afternoon is the schedule. So the Wisconsin Badgers kick off the season next Thursday, August 28th, hosting Miami, Ohio. Then it's Middle Tennessee after that, and we're like, okay, it's feeling like a pretty good start to the year. Well, then Alabama on the road. Maryland is how you open up Big Ten play. Michigan on the road. Iowa and Ohio State come to Camp Randall. At Oregon, who was the #1 team in the country at the end of the season last year. Washington comes here. At Indiana, a college football playoff team. Illinois comes to Camp Randall, a top 12 team in the preseason poll. And on the road at Minnesota to wrap it up. There's no breaks in that schedule, Coach. This is going to be a big one for Coach Fickell and the squad this year.
You shouldn't have a break in the Big Ten schedule. The Big Ten is a tough league. It's a deep league. And so you don't have any soft touches. You don't have any weeks off when you play in the league. And you can look at anybody else on that schedule, at their schedules, and it's the same thing. It's a gauntlet, once you get into the schedule. And but it's a formidable schedule, but it's a fun schedule for our fans. I think this will be fun for our fans to see these other teams and watch us compete against these other teams.
If I'm Coach Fickell, I'm really looking at this in how important to build momentum is. You have to take care of the first two, right? Then you go down to Bama, which is going to be fun for these kids. Yeah. But it's an 11 a.m. game, and Bama's down compared to what Bama typically is in years past. You could sneak up on an Alabama at 11 a.m. game down there in Tuscaloosa, and you get some momentum coming out. You get an upset there. Nobody expects. I think Vegas has this at 5.5. For total victories.
Yep, that's the line, the over-under, every sports book coming into the season.
But you get some momentum. You pull an upset victory down there on the road in Tuscaloosa, and you come out and have your first home Big Ten game against Maryland. Well, that takes you into a bye all of a sudden, and Michigan is easy to play. It's lays out flat. It's not very raucous. It's
you
not
guys
very noisy.
Say that every year when we talk about going to the big house.
It is. They're spoiled. I don't know. I just don't. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I think we could.
The crowd is not a factor.
No,
is what he's saying. The
exactly.
stadium does not create a very loud atmosphere compared to a place half the size like Iowa.
Right.
Because
totally.
They're on top of you, and the stadium's up straight up. Where Michigan's lays back. But good points by Derek.
It's not like going out to Oregon because they are on top of you. Similar to when we went out when Colorado was really good.
I'll tell you the thing about Oregon. I remember we played out there.
Yeah, early 2001 or something.
And someone said, it'll be the loudest stadium you've ever played. I said, how in the hell could it be the loudest stadium? We played in 100,000 seats. We play in 80,000. We've got 80,000 at our player, whatever we have. And we start playing, and it is loud. And I'm looking around. I don't see one person in the stands clapping their hands or yelling. Not one. I'm thinking, where in the hell is this noise, all this crowd noise coming from? It's coming out of their speakers. I've never been in a stadium like that. But that's
Yep. And it's going to be, if you go into either Michigan or Alabama, and they're able to pull one of those out, you're sitting at potentially 4-1. If they take care of the other, Maryland at home, of course, first Big Ten opener in the non-conference games in Miami, Ohio, Middle Tennessee State. Of course, they should. But then the real meat comes.
Mm-hmm.
You get Iowa at home. We know what all that's about. We know what Iowa's going to bring every single year. We know what Iowa's going to bring. Then, of course, the blue bloods in Ohio State and the athletes they got, we know what they have. It was interesting in Coach Fickell's first year. You guys might remember that night game, Ohio State. They played
them tough.
They played them really tough.
Yeah.
Made some fumbled late in the game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
Fumbled late in the game to let it get away.
And then you got to go out to Oregon. So if they can get some momentum early, might be able to get them through some of that grind in the meat, and they cannot let happen what happened last year and lose to Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
And this year it's Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota. To end the season. Those are really, those are going to be crucial games. 2 of them on the road. So I really truly believe that if they get some momentum early on, it could be something where we are beating the Vegas odds this year, and I think we'll be going to a bowl game.
Coach, I want to ask you this because we've asked a number of former players throughout the course of this offseason if there was one game you could lock in that the Badgers win this season on this schedule, and there's a lot to choose from, what would it be? Everybody said Minnesota.
That you have to win?
Yeah, one game that you circle and you say you can guarantee this is the victory this year. Every player we asked, every former Badgers player said Minnesota's the one. What is the value and the significance of winning that rivalry game every year?
Well, it's the longest ongoing rivalry in college football.
There.
It's you have to make a big deal out of that game because it is a big deal. It's history. It's college football. It's a trophy game. There's so much involved in that. You can look at Iowa. Iowa, we've created a trophy for the Iowa game, but it's not the same as the Minnesota. The Axe is historic.
That guy, I respect him. I'm not a big fan of him, and PJ Fleck, but what he's doing is what Coach Alvarez did here. He's really trying to lock down the borders in Minnesota, and they've never ever done that. As far as recruiting is concerned, and all their in-state talent, it's really, really important. I think, the more leverage you have from a recruiting standpoint is if you beat their ass. And that's what we always did at Minnesota, so we could pluck all those guys out of Minnesota, have them cross the St. Croix River, and get them to be a Badger. And that coach did that.
So the Minnesota game is a significant one down the stretch. And I do think as much as we can point to Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama as some of the big games this year, I think you guys make great points. Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota. Those are the 3 to me that are the ones that if Wisconsin could win, obviously all 3, but even 2 out of 3 and farewell and just show that they can win those games again. That would make the fan base feel a little more morale as we left last season not feeling.
Because they all know fans from the other schools. They know fans. They're friends of fans from those other schools.
All right, Coach, I think we got to bid farewell to you at this point, right? So thank you very
guys.
much.
Enjoyed it.
The Barry Alvarez Show season premiere here on ESPN Madison. Derek will be back with Tarek and Coach next week, 6 o'clock on Monday night on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Thanks so much to all of you for sticking with us. Thanks to Nakoma Golf Club and to everyone here at Gilda's Club for joining us and for the really awesome season premiere that we were able to experience here this afternoon. Again, for Derek Engler, for Tarek Saleh,
you overcame adversity.
I did. We all did today. We had a heck of an afternoon here. For everyone here at Gilda's Club, my name's Jesse Nelson. Thanks so much for joining us on the Barry Alvarez Show on ESPN Madison.